All right, everyone, thanks so much for joining us here on the First Alert Desk. I am First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. We are going to cover everything you need to know for the rest of the day after a very, very active morning. Severe storms across North Georgia. Some storms just below severe limits, but they packed a punch, causing widespread damage across the area. So we're going to talk about what to expect for the rest of the day, and then we'll have ANF anchor Joy Limnakron come and talk about where we're seeing some of that damage, check in on some of those spots, and give you the latest news of the day. Of course, it's all about the weather after a very active overnight. Some good news, though, for those of you who are waking up with us. We no longer have any active severe weather, no severe weather threat expected for the rest of the day. In fact, conditions will continue to improve through the rest of the day. Maybe a few lingering showers, but that's really it. And the wind is also going to start to pick up. So you just need to be really cautious if you need to head out and about through the day today. I want to just advise you that you need to be careful because the ground is saturated. So if you're going to clean up today, use caution with that wind picking up. So again, no active severe weather threat for the rest of the day. Not worried about flooding, hail, any damaging wind, or any tornadoes anymore. That is well to our northeast, off in the Carolinas. We are now pretty much rain-free. Looks like maybe a few very light showers in parts of Madison County, but most of the area dry. The heavy rain again off in the Carolinas and in central Georgia. We're just stuck with some cloudy skies. If you're watching with us live, this is around 10 o'clock. If you happen to catch this a little bit later, then just know that around 10 a.m. we're now completely dry, but we won't be completely dry through the rest of the day. We will watch for a few wraparound showers, essentially the parent low of this system, which is up towards the Great Lakes. That is going to help wrap around some just spotty showers through the afternoon hours, maybe by late morning. Here's a look at 11 o'clock. We'll start to see some sunshine, I think, by late morning. Again, maybe a spotty shower or two that'll continue through the afternoon. Most of us will be dry, though, and I do think we'll see a lot of sunshine return later today, which will help temperatures warm really nicely through the afternoon. Well-deserved sunshine after a couple of really, really gloomy days. High temperatures today, low 60s north of the city, mid to upper 60s across most of Metro. A few spots topping out the low 60s, but nonetheless warmer than the last couple of days. Again, we'll start to see some sunshine. I think the forecast will shape up a lot more pleasant than what it has the last couple of days. The last 48 hours leading into our first alert weather day this morning have really just been dreary, so it'll be really refreshing to see some sunshine return. As I mentioned, we will increase the wind through the day. The wind is already starting to pick up, but wind gusts this afternoon expected anywhere between about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So just be mindful if you have to go out and do some cleanup today, if you have tree limbs down in your yard, just use caution because the ground is fairly saturated. It's definitely not at its breaking point, but the ground is pretty soggy, so that can cause some extra tree limbs to fall over. You just want to be really, really careful if you have to head out and about today. This isn't wind advisory criteria, but it's enough that we just want to caution you if you do need to clean up throughout the day today. The forecast will continue to get nicer heading into the start of the week. The last couple of days of 2024 will be chilly to start the morning tomorrow with temperatures in the mid 40s and then mostly sunny in the afternoon with another mild day in the mid 60s tomorrow. Your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day forecasts look great. Of course, that's just a couple days away now. New Year's Eve will be in the mid 60s with mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few showers in the mountains Tuesday morning. That's New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day will be in the low 50s. So we start a cooler trend heading into the new year. If you do have any plans for your New Year's Eve night, maybe you're going to go see the peach drop, any of the fun events going on New Year's Eve evening, just know temperatures will generally be in the upper 40s to low 50s. So maybe a light layer with you. You don't necessarily need the coat, but you'll need at least a layer for Tuesday night if you do have any plans. Here's looking at your first alert 7-day forecast. So mid 60s today, maybe a couple of quick wraparound showers. Most of us will stay dry. We'll see more sunshine return this afternoon. Waking up in the mid to upper 40s tomorrow, sunshine in mid 60s Monday. Then Tuesday, the last full day of 2024, maybe a stray shower at temperatures in the mid 60s. Going into the new year, temperatures will get cooler, upper 40s to low 50s with mornings back in the 30s. No rain expected heading into next weekend. So thankfully, we are set and done with our severe weather today. Don't have to worry about any more severe weather, really any more thunderstorm activity through the rest of your Sunday, but a few showers definitely possible. It'll also be breezy, and we'll finally see the return of some sunshine, which I think we all deserve. It was really active overnight. I hope everyone got through it okay. When we have first alert weather days for the potential for severe weather, whether the tornado threat's high or even the wind threat is high, both of those things definitely something to be taken seriously. So we're thankful for all of you who tuned in, who stayed tuned to the forecast, and we're glad that you all stayed safe. We got through it this morning, and now we can look ahead to a nicer second half of the day. But that doesn't mean that cleanup is done. We have a lot of cleaning up to do. The storm, of course, brought down lots of trees, took out power to some of you at home. So to get you updated on what's happening across Metro now that the storms are out after really causing a mess through the overnight hours, I'm going to bring in Atlanta News First anchor Joy Lim Nakrin to get you up to date on what's happening across the Metro in terms of your news and what happened in the storm's aftermath.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Courtney. And, you know, as you emphasize, I mean, it's the widespread damage. Excuse me, I just had a little trip as I was walking up here. Not your fault, Courtney. That's me being clumsy. It has been quite an evening and a morning. And, you know, we've had crews out along various areas of the Metro, but I want to show you, as they're working to gather video from various damage spots, I just want to show you what we have on AtlantaNewsFirst.com because we have actually compiled, you know, some of the images from what we've been dealing with in the aftermath of these storms that, you know, they have now ended. That's a major headline here, that the storms have now ended in Metro Atlanta, but just look at some of these images that we've compiled on AtlantaNewsFirst.com, just showing you some of the damage. You know, for instance, this is on Pleasant Hill, where a large home caught fire, and there were several power lines that fell in that area as well. We know that there was a gas leak. We know here in this image, you see some more images from that fire as well, and then I know on the bottom corner of your screen you can see that report earlier today from our Asia Wilson, who was inside of a home in Marietta in Cobb County, where you can see that, you know, a tree fell on the home, caused a lot of damage. You can see the insulation came inside the home. Thankfully, no one was injured in that particular situation, but you know, a lot of damage all across Metro Atlanta. We're talking about tens of thousands of power outages at one point, but crews have been hard at work, and those numbers have dropped very, very quickly. And Courtney has just explained to you guys that, you know, the storms have moved out. So that is the relief here, but still a lot of mess that people are dealing with all across Metro Atlanta. Just for a little bit of perspective, let me show you the situation in Texas, where also strong storms hit as well, and tornadoes touched down. And this is one of the hardest hit areas that we're looking at. This is in Porter, north of Houston, where a tornado touched down as well. And you see how bad damage can get. So from what we've seen in Georgia, we're still relatively lucky. That storm also knocked down trees and power lines and tore roofs off of homes there in Texas. What a disaster. And you know, the crews there working to determine if it was a tornado, in fact. You know, also in Clayton County, another situation that we have been following is that fire at a storage unit, and it has now been turned into a death investigation. So really a tragedy. It all happened behind a home in Riverdale near the intersection of Highway 138 and Lake Ridge Parkway. Clayton County fire officials say multiple storage units behind the home were filled with heavy flames, and once firefighters, I should say, knocked down both fires. A man was found dead inside. The victim has not yet been identified.
You know, it's just a tragedy during this time as we're celebrating Christmas and ringing in the new year. It's just we send our prayers to those people who's been impacted by these tragedies.
So this comes after two separate fires occurred near the same area last weekend. 27 people were displaced following a blaze that broke out at the Archway Apartments, and 3 miles from there, a woman died in a fire on West Fayetteville Road. Officials say both of those are believed to have been caused by cooking accidents. Okay, let's turn now to some shooting investigations that are underway this morning. So there are 2 deadly shootings that are under investigation in DeKalb County. Detectives trying to figure out who shot a 36-year-old man who was found with multiple gunshot wounds in a backyard on 2nd Avenue, about a mile from the East Lake Golf Club. Police have still not identified a suspect in that situation. The second shooting happened on Candler Road, just a couple miles from that first scene, where police say that someone shot a man in his 20s. He was taken to the hospital, but unfortunately later died. And DeKalb County Police tell us the shooter remained on scene. They're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. Okay, now let's get to this story out of Paulding. And a fire in that community has left a single mom who has 9 kids in her care without a home. So that is all that's left after the house went up in flames just before Christmas. Now, she is a 911 dispatcher in Paulding County. She's usually the one helping others in emergencies, never imagining she'd be dealing with one quite like this for herself. Atlanta News First Chelsea Beinfor has more on how her friends are stepping in to help.
Yeah, that mom actually has 2 jobs to support all of her children. One of those jobs is here as a Paulding County 911 dispatcher. She says she's always focused on other people's emergencies until recently when she had her own.
You clean it for me?
Yeah.
You're my best boy. You can put it in the car.
That coffee mug says Boss Mom, and that's exactly what Keisha Archer is, a single mother of 9 who works 2 jobs to support her family. One of them is being a Paulding County 911 dispatcher, and just days before Christmas, a coworker took an emergency call about Keisha's house.
My next door neighbor, she isn't here. Her name's Keisha. For y'all, her house is on fire.
Keisha's home on Meadow Spring Drive, where she lives with her 5 youngest children and 3 pets, went up in flames while she was out picking up her daughter from school.
When I walked inside, I was shocked at what I found. I thought I was just going to have a little minor damage, and the whole house is just burned up inside.
A once cozy family living room is now filled with smoke-stained walls, melted light bulbs, and piles of insulation. Thankfully, no one was home when that fire erupted except the family cat, Pearl, who neighbors found alive days later.
You got a chubby little cat, man.
With hardly any clothes or personal belongings left, Christmas looked a lot different for Keisha's family this year.
It was a living room with a Christmas tree, boxes, and a couch. We had our matching Christmas pajamas though, and that's all that mattered, is that we were, together, and all the animals were okay.
Keisha's family is staying with friends while they search for a rental property and remodel their home. Her colleagues at Paulding Dispatch also stepped in, creating an online fundraiser to try and help the Boss Mom as she rebuilds her life.
I raised these 5 on my own. There's no help. So it's been a lot, but we're gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay.
Paulding County fire investigators say the cause of the fire is likely electrical, but is still under investigation. If you would like to donate to Keisha's family, you can find a link to help on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Reporting in Paulding County, Chelsea Beinfor, Atlanta News First.
And more on that and all of our top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com, as well as our free mobile news app. You can also get the latest weather updates sent right to your mobile phone. Also highly recommend, if you haven't done so yet, download our First Alert weather app, and you can even get hour-by-hour forecasts as this weather continues to change. For now, the storms have moved out, thankfully, but again, that app could be your lifeline. Now back to Local News Live.